Hey folks, today we are going to be foraging some wood nettles. They do sting you, so we have to take some precautions, but we should get a nice crop. You can make these like spinach, like a stewed green or something, or saute it, and you can get the sting out, and we'll talk about that. But what we're gonna do is get some and dehydrate it so we have tea for all year round. So you're gonna need a couple things. One is some clippers or some shears to cut the plants. You're definitely gonna need some gloves to protect your hands, and you need a bucket to be collecting your plants in. So we're gonna step into the nettle patch and we'll get started. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna get my gloves on. If you're smart, you'd have some long pants on. I do not have them on right now, so I'm gonna be very careful as I walk into this patch. But you'll see some of these plants are really tall, and if they get you, they're gonna get you good. It's really gonna burn. If you can find some jewelweed nearby, you can rub it on your stinging bits and it'll take the sting out. And we do have a lot of jewelweed around, so I'll show you some of that. But let's get into the nettle patch here. All right, so as you can see, I'm in the middle of the patch. I've kind of cleared a little space because I wanna be cautious and kind of make sort of an inroad, so I'm not just wading through a bunch of nettles. But you can grasp the stem near the bottom, just give it a clip, and I'm gonna bring it closer so you can see this. So you can see these sort of little flowering bits right here. Those are a giveaway. If you look really closely, you're gonna see a lot of fine hairs. That's what stings you. And then when I collect, what I do in the field, just to save time, is go ahead and just clip the leaves off at the base of the leaf. And that way, when you get home and you're ready to do the dehydrating part, it's a lot easier. So go ahead and collect a good amount. Okay, so we got our nettles at home. We got a good bucket of them. The easiest thing to do now to wash them is just stick them in a big bucket of water. And if you have tongs, that helps because you can kind of use them to pick them up and agitate them. If you have some, thin gloves you can use to try to protect your hands a little. I try to just pick them up gingerly and wipe them through the water and kind of shake them off, and I stick them in this colander. So I'm going to collect a colander full and then lay it out on some cloths, some cloth towels on some tables in my house. So I do have a cat, Mr. Barnaby, but he does not jump up on stinging nettles, so I can keep these in the open air and they will be protected. If you have a food dehydrator, that works super awesome too, or you can lay them on some trays and use your stove, or your oven, sorry, not your stove, and put them at a real low temperature, but that can take 8 hours or something, and so you're using a lot of electricity there. So if you have a clean open air space that you can use, that is really awesome. So that's what we're going to go through for this batch. So I'm going to go ahead and keep washing these. Again, I'm picking them up very lightly, and once I wash them a little, I feel less of a sting. So it's still kind of getting me, on the hands, but it's not that bad. So we'll finish this bucket up and start laying them out. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we got a nice mess of nettles here. So I've just got some tabletops set up and I just put some cloth towels on them. So all I'm gonna do is just lay these out, and I'm trying not to overlap them too much. If they do a little bit, it's okay. But you don't want to just like plop them on the table. So it's kind of like making a leaf jigsaw puzzle, because you want as much area as possible to be exposed to the air so it can dry pretty evenly. So I'm just gonna take some time to lay these all out. All right, we're back. We have dried our nettles. I've got them in a jar, and one thing I want to say is I always label what I put in my jar and whether it's like tea or not edible, and what date it was foraged on or finished processing on. And that way, like,
if I get a mystery jar, you know, I might know the plant, but I'm like, what if it's like 5 years old? It could happen. There's a lot of jars out here. So what we're gonna do is make the tea itself. So I've got my loose leaves. I've got a little tea strainer. I have an exceptionally fancy and fine teacup. And I've got a heat source and big stretch, we've got a teapot. So we are going to crank this bad boy up. Turn it on and let our water get to a boil. So give it a few minutes and we'll be back. Water's still boiling. It's true what they say, you can't watch water pots boil, or I don't know. I'm kind of sleepy and hungry. But we're going to go ahead and hope this boils in just a second. I'm using tongs to get my tea out. Not for any reason except that I just got these cool tongs and I want to use them. But this really, it's stinging nettles, but it's not stinging me anymore. So I'm just gonna shove some nettles into this infuser. I don't know, strainer, cheese strainer, and kind of crunching them up a little bit. Now it's not a very big cup, so I'm not gonna put a whole ton of stinging nettles in there. Right. We got a good bubbling going on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour out, woo, start of a whistle. And come on, dude. We're almost there. Turn off the stove. And I'll tell you what, you can do a couple things. There is a lid that comes with this strainer that you can put on. Sometimes I steep my tea covered and sometimes I don't. The nettles, I really haven't found it make much of a difference either way. So we're gonna let it sit for a few minutes and come back, maybe 5 to 7 minutes, something like that. And then we'll come back and give it a taste test. All right, moment of truth time. Take out my strainer. Set this aside. Prepare to get fancy. Pretty earthy scent. Huge surprise there. Actually, it's really good. I don't like sweeteners in my teas, so this is totally my jam. There's a local coffee shop that makes the Nettles tea seasonally, and you can get it cold, and it's so good. Like an iced Nettles tea. I totally want to try that with this now. All right, I'm gonna put that in the win column for us foraging friends here. So we'll see what else we can dig up and dry out and brew into a magical elixir. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.